Good evening and welcome to the first Leader in Times online news report. This is George Clooney. No, just kidding there, guys. Rick Urick here, no mistake. And here are today's headlines. The Liberal Senior Community Center is looking to head in a new direction and serve a new crop of seniors coming through its doors. After letting longtime director Susan Roberts go, the center's governing board, the Seward County Council on Aging, hired Darlene Ford to lead the facility in that new direction. Ford was born in the Buckeye State, Ohio, and has been married to her husband, Terry Ford, which Terry is a pastor of the Liberals' First Christian Church since 1979. The Fords have lived in several states before coming to Liberal, and prior to marriage, Darlene was already involved in many churches. With much of the center's money focused on electrical upgrades, with some problems they've had there, Darlene said that the new windows are also in the future. The Business and Industry Office at SCCC, Seward County Community College Area Technical School, is offering an 8-hour course on concealed carry, which is very important nowadays as we know it. The course is scheduled from 8 to 5 on Saturday, February 13th at SCCC and ATS at 215 North Kansas, room T116A. The cost is $100 per participant and pre-registration is required. The deadline to enroll is Wednesday, February 10th. And for more information or to enroll, call 620-417-1170. Students must bring a valid Kansas driver's license to the class. It's also exciting to see the judges pick up picks in a new contest, but it's also fun to select the winner yourself. The audience at this year's Pancake Day Talent Show will vote by text for the winner of the United Wireless Montana Beasley's People's Choice Awards. The texting feature will be provided and set up by United Wireless, sponsor of this year's talent show. Steve Harvey is not coming. The talent show will feature 20 acts competing for prizes, money, and trophies in 4 divisions. The Pancake Day Talent Show is set for 7:30 p.m. on February 6th in the James Massis Auditorium at the Liberal High School. Tickets are $8 in advance and $10 at the door. Also, advance tickets may be purchased at the Pancake Day Hall of Fame, First National Bank in Liberal, or online at www.pancakeday.net. For more information, call 624-6423. The talent show is hosted by a wonderful group, the Noons Lions Club. Concerns regarding recently approved plans for a crematorium in Liberal kicked off the most recent meeting of the Liberal City Commission Tuesday night. Liberal citizens Anita Parnell and Stephen Wilson spoke up during the items for citizens' petition of the agenda regarding their concern. Quote, I have some concerns regarding the crematorium being proposed for the Scout Cabin there on Kane Street, Parnell said. She added, quote, I'm afraid there's too much emissions that would be expended into the air that could be detrimental to people's health, especially the mercury vapors, and that can immediately be absorbed into the bloodstream. Got to be safe there. Within that area, there are several people who have already have major health problems. There are 2 churches within 6 blocks of there. The Garfield School within 6 blocks of there. The middle school and high school are within 6 blocks of that area. And also the First Southern Baptist Church. I feel it would be very detrimental to the health of the people there, and that it could also lower the value of the properties. So very serious concerns here. Unquote, after the presentations, commission members advised both Parnell and Wilson they could file an appeal with the Planning and Zoning Commission within the most important 30 days, and that will start that process. The Planning and Zoning Code Commission had approved the crematorium at its most recent last meeting, and a special permit had been granted. The final item on the Commission's agenda concerned airport land sale expenditures. The first part of this discussion concerned the crack seal program, which the FFA approved staff request to complete the 2006 airport crack seal program, which will further maintain the facility, as the airport has not done any crack sealing since 2008. The project will include major repairs to the airport parking lot, as well as crack sealing. Taxway E, the general aviation ramp adjacent to the T hangars, and repairs to the edge of the runway 17/35, where joint sealing is missing as a result of snow removal operations. Good thing we don't live in New York. The parking lot will have to be vacated during work. And the cost estimate from B&H Paving in Scott City is $30,000, with approximately half the cost to be expended on the parking lot. Court records indicate the Tyrone, Oklahoma police chief arrested last year has completed a preliminary hearing and is scheduled for another one in March. Jerry Lynn Schrader was scheduled for a prelim Tuesday, and now court records indicate the chief has another one scheduled for March 1st in Texas County in the great state of Oklahoma District Court. The District 1 Task Force in July 2015 began investigating the woman later discovered to be Schroeder's then girlfriend, Jamie K. Worsham. Affidavits from the case said Schroeder had ran license plates information for Worsham. That's a no-no, and been present in several assault and battery cases, including ones involving dangerous weapons and attempted murder in the first degree. In all the cases, the chief failed to make arrests or reports. Jerry Schrader also later used equipment, namely a ditch witch, to dig a line from Worsham's house to the city's water connection in Tyrone. Schrader was charged with 1 count of disseminating confidential information, 4 counts of public official neglecting duty, 1 count of unauthorized use of a vehicle, and 1 count of embezzlement. According to court records, Worsham was arraigned in November 2015 on 5 counts of assault and battery, 3 counts of feloniously pointing a firearm, 1 count of arson in the first degree, and 1 count of threatening an act of violence. That same day, the record says, Worsham pleaded guilty to the charges, and there was no indication if this was done per plea agreement, or if so, what terms were involved. These are your headlines for today's news on the High Plains. When we come back, Earl Watt will have local sports. You are watching the LNT Network.
All right, well, we'll give you some sports information. We're going to start down in the Panhandle where Turpin and Tyrone faced off. And the Bobcats were a well-oiled machine Tuesday night with their foot heavy on the throttle. The Bobcats made shots, caused turnovers, and generally did as they pleased in a 67-31 romp of Turpin. Tyrone controlled the game from the opening tip, taking a 10-2 lead that was expanded to 18-4 by the end of the first quarter. 2 minutes into the second, Tyrone led 23-4, then 30-5 with 3:22 still left in the first half. The Bobcats led 38-12 at the break. Tyrone scored the first 6 points of the second half to push their lead to over 30, and they led by over 40 by the end of the third quarter. From that point on, Tyrone put the game on cruise as both teams cleared their benches. Eric Lomas led the way offensively for the Bobcats, finishing with 21 points, including 3 trays and 2 for 2 shooting at the line. Brian Hawley came off the bench to score 17, including a pair of threes. Tanner Hurst hit 3 triples for 9 points, while Willie Slater and Austin Pickering added 6 points apiece on the inside. In total, 9 different Bobcats scored. For the Cardinals, only Trevor Moat reached double figures with 10 points. Caleb Parrish added 6, and Kenny Holmes had 5. The number 11 Bobcats are now 18-1, and they'll travel to Keys Friday night. The schedule does not get any easier for the Turpin Cardinals, who are 3-15. They hit the road to take on the number 4 Forgan Bulldogs, who are 15-4. That game will be Friday night. For coaches' quotes and game photos, go to leaderandtimes.com. On the ladies' side, it was a different story. In a game of runs, the Turpin Lady Cardinals used the game's last one to pull out a 30-26 win over the Tyrone Lady Bobcats Tuesday night. Tyrone's Abigail Zapita scored twice in 27 seconds to cap an 11-1 run that had taken the Lady Bobcats from 7 down to up 3 with 6:15 left in the game. Tyrone's Morgan Pickering scored 7 of her 13 during the run. Turpin had gone 9 minutes and 24 seconds without a field goal. But Bailey Brungart ended the Lady Cardinals' drought when she converted a 3-point play that tied the game and fouled out Tyrone point guard Kylie Ramirez with 4:12 to play. Turpin then went on an 8-0 run and held Tyrone without a field goal the rest of the way to pull out their 4-point win for the Lady Cards. Bailey Brungart led the Lady Cardinals with 13 points. Callie McVeigh added 10. For Tyrone, it was Morgan Pickering with 13, Paige Brown with 7, and Abigail Zabeda with 6. Turpin is 6-12 and will travel to number 4 Forgan, who's 18-1 Friday night. Tyrone's 5-13, and they'll travel to Keys. And now on to the Big House, where the Redskins and Lady Redskins hosted the Clayton, New Mexico Yellow Jackets. Let's start with the Lady Redskins. For the Lady Redskins so far this season, it has either been a diamond of a performance or it's been rough. Tuesday night, Diamond Bailey turned in a gem with 17 points and stiff defense that gave the Lady Redskins a 55-27 blowout win over the Clayton Lady Yellow Jackets. The victory was the 8th of the season, doubling last year's total of 4 wins, and there's still 7 more games to be played before Sub-State. Clayton stayed close to the Lady Redskins early, and with 2:25 to play in the first quarter, the Lady Redskins had a 10-9 lead. But Whitney Hay launched a 3-pointer that sailed through the net, and Bailey sunk 2 free throws to give the Lady Redskins a 15-10 lead after the first period. Bailey had struggled shooting in games earlier in the season, but she had no trouble finding the basket against Clayton. Early in the second quarter, she added a 3-pointer to give the Lady Redskins a 19-10 lead. But the Lady Yellow Jackets put together a 7-2 run that cut Liberal's lead to 21-17. Liberal answered with 3 straight baskets from Allie Lucero, Bailey, and Jada Mickens, and the Lady Redskins had a 27-17 lead at half. Liberal continued to run in the second half, and the Lady Redskins scored 26 points in a row before Clayton finally hit a basket with 2:45 to play in the third quarter to end a 7-minute and 50-second drought. By the end of the period, the Lady Redskins had a 49-23 lead. Liberal coach Carter Kruger played his starters sparingly in the fourth quarter, and the Lady Redskins cruised to the 55-27 rout. Let's take a look at a highlight. Right, the Lady Redskins had a really good run against Clayton, and by the end of the game, Coach Kruger was able to get his subs in. You see his subs working right here against Clayton. They had a turnover, but Clayton missed a shot. The Lady Redskins were able to get the rebound. They're bringing it up the court, looking for an opportunity as the seconds are running off, and the starters are looking up, hoping for that last shot, but it just missed. But they're still able to celebrate the big win for the Lady Redskins.
Well, Coach, 10-point lead at half. Just rocked the house down in the second half, ran away with it. Strong night for Diamond. How'd you see it tonight?
Well, we came out on that 20-0 run just like we drew it up at halftime. No, our kids played really well in the second half. Defensively, really keyed our effort there, and Diamond was a key part of that. She got a few steals, kind of got us going a little bit in transition, got our blood flowing, and we just rolled from there.
I know that you didn't get the number of wins that you would like to have in Salina, but what did you feel like you got out of that tournament that kind of helped you in tonight's game?
Yeah, the biggest thing was maybe getting a chance to go get beat by a team like Abilene. We didn't play well Friday night against Salina South. It's a game we feel like we should have won. But then we got a chance to play a ranked team and go out and compete, and we played a lot better. And that's one of the better games we played since before Christmas. So I thought that our kids did a good job responding to that loss, responding to Friday night's loss, and then we played really well Sunday, and that carried over today.
And it seemed like in the second half, the aggressiveness tonight, getting the turnovers, the transition games. And in the past, you've been able to do that, but not finish it on the other end. Tonight, you're finishing it. What do you think made the difference?
Yeah, dude, we put a lot of skill work, and our kids have invested a lot of time too. That's one of the biggest things is that in practice we've put a lot of time working on shooting the ball and working on making plays and finishing plays around the basket. And our kids did a great job of just really buying into that and working hard. And they're improving. They're getting better as players, and that's making us a better team.
All right, big night at the big house for the Lady Redskins tonight. Congratulations, Coach.
All right, thank you very much.
Bailey led the Lady Redskins with 17 points, and Mickens was 1 point behind at 16. Both were able to finish possessions with baskets, something that hadn't been lacking at times earlier in the season. The Redskins saw the Lady Redskins win by 28, and they said, anything you can do, we can do better. And they earned a 53-point win, knocking off Clayton 81-28. And the Redskins looked good doing it. Liberal wasted little time shooting out to a 12-4 lead that included 2 baskets each from Kylan Thomas and Cole Evans. But the last 2.5 minutes of the first quarter belonged to Deladris Green. The junior scored 11 points in that time period that included a jump shot, a hook in the lane, a layup, and a three-pointer. By the end of the quarter, Green had 13 points, and the Redskins had a 27-11 lead. Let's go to the highlights. All right, the Redskins had their way with Clayton, and they knew which number to go to, number 35, looking for Deladrius Green. Redskins pass the ball, find Deladrius Green in the corner. He puts it up, swish. He gets 2 points for the Redskins. Later, a miss is put back by Deladrius Green again for 2 more for the Redskins. Another break down the court. Redskins pass it around. They look to the middle of the lane, and who's there? Deladrius Green. Boom, he scores another 2 points in the first quarter for the Redskins. A breakaway basket by Timothy Fitzgerald on a steal. Now, how about the outside? How does Green do on the outside? Puts it up, nothing but net. And the Redskins, Deladrius Green scores 23.
Coach, 9-point second half that you guys gave up. What a defensive effort. How'd you see it tonight?
Well, that's what I wanted to happen. Clayton's young, and we knew that, and inexperienced, and where we really wanted to go with it was on the defensive end. We knew that we could probably get whatever we wanted on the offensive end, but really wanted to play strong defense.
And you got off to a good start in the first half, so you kind of had some flexibility on what you wanted to do. You got a lot of kids in tonight, played a lot of different people, a lot of different matchups. How did you feel about the different combinations you had?
Well, we probably should have mixed it up and had some of our subs and some of our varsity starters, and we kind of just went 5 in a different group the next time. And so I was a little disappointed in how they came in and kind of turned it over, and defensively they were okay, but on the offensive end they just got in a hurry, and that's what I told them. I said, slow down. We can score anytime we want, so be patient and run the offense a little bit. But they accomplished what I wanted, and the end result is what we were hoping for.
Probably, I know you were a little disappointed with the Salina tournament, but what did you learn from that you feel like has helped you in tonight's game?
Well, we learned that we got to get a lot better. We learned that we can play with state caliber teams for a few quarters, but we've got to put 4 quarters together, and we haven't done that yet. And that's what I've talked to them about, that I don't think that we have really, that our 6, 7, 8 guys that we're playing, I don't think we've had a great showing by all of them on a given night. I think when that happens, it's fun to watch. We've seen it at times in flashes, but we had some kids have some success tonight that haven't had varsity, success before, and that's always good. But I told them, I said, this is probably the last game you're going to have like this the rest of the year for sure, and learn from it. But have fun. We're going to give them the day off tomorrow. We've got a long layoff before Great Bend. So give them tomorrow off and go pretty light the next few days before hitting it hard on Monday against Great Bend.
Well, great way to come back home and get the big win in the big house. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Green dominated scoring with 23 points and grabbed 13 rebounds. Thomas had 15 points, Kate Hinkle scored 11, and Evans had 10. Liberal will take 10 days off before hosting Great Bend February 5th. Now, if there's anyone out there who would like to make a video of their area game, send us your video to heartlandftp.com and use the name and password sports and sports. Then send an email to me at earl@hpleader.com. And we'll be able to use your game and your score and share your video on our program. Please keep the clip to a few seconds or a minute. That's the news and sports today. For more on these stories, go to leaderandtimes.com and make sure to subscribe to this page. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow.